What's up, YouTube? So, yeah, I know I got a haircut, huh? I always prefer the shorter hair, because it's just less to manage, So, and I am built more for comfort than speed, but it makes me feel a little more aerodynamic, just. But anyhow, welcome to another episode of In the Life. And I have a few things in this episode. I did say I had a couple things to show in the last episode, but I was on the road doing my road vlog, right? So I couldn't exactly show these newest additions to the jerseys, to some of the hats. I know I showed the hats I got that day, but there were others that I had in the fold. So let's get to those first, then we'll go to the jerseys, and then we're going to do what I love to do and jibber jabber. All right, so let's get right into it, right? So this was the Killer Bees 2.0 by my buddy Pierre and the rest of the good people at Good Hats Co. Man, this thing, this is my nominee for Hat of the Year so far. And I know we're only, a little less than 3 months into the year. So there's a long way to go, but I love this hat. This is so well done. And here it is. Oh, goodness gracious. So the other version of this, the original version, was like a Georgia Tech hook. So it had the black and gold, but same logo, just different colorway. Big logo on the front. Look at that. Look at the detail on that thing. The colors are just, I love this. Of course, you got the teal. And yes, it's the Charlotte Hornets hook. So you got the old, and the current Hornets colorway, but kind of the older look, right? You got the samurai sword going there just for, because it's a killer bee, right? So, you got the Good Hats Co. logo on the back. Oh. The only thing, and it's a minor thing, but it's a little thing for me, is I do wish it had the black interior. Just because the white it's just so hard to keep clean. And particularly when you get into the hotter months, and you know me, I mean, I'm like a faucet anyhow, so it would be hard to wear this in those months. So, and that's when I would love to, because I would love to throw on like a Hornets jersey and have this on, but and in the winter too, I sweat. So, look at this thing, huh? Look at that. Oh my goodness. You can't tell me anything with this on. Oof. Ooh. So I am very glad to have been able to get this. Love it so much. And like I said, so far, and I know it's only a little less than 3 months in, but that's my Hat of the Year nominee right there. All right. This was from the Nike site. Grabbed this. This came out before all of the various, city edition hats that New Era has been pumping out, right? So now you're seeing them in lids, you're seeing them online, Fanatics, lids, New Era, I think was the first site to actually pump them out there. But this was the first one that I saw. And shout out to my buddy Chris. He's the one who informed me of this. Actually, the day that I went to the Super Bowl sale, I was literally just waiting outside the store, and I got the notification about this. But this was the first city edition hat that I saw. Now, obviously, there's been others since, but Sixers 76 logo on the side. It's a snap. You got the NBA with the 75. A little red under right there. And again, this was, I believe, Nike.com or something like that. This is where I got it. And they offer free shipping, too, which is cool. Like, no matter what you buy, it's free shipping. As long as you sign up, and it's all free to sign up. You can just become a member and whatnot. So, very cool. I like this hat. Like I said, this was the first city edition hat that I saw, because then soon after, you started getting all the regular, which they were later in putting out this year than other years. Usually the hats come out the same time the jerseys do. But I guess for whatever reason, maybe whatever it was, they didn't come out right away. There was a delay, and then all of a sudden now you're starting to see the hats. And some of them are really nice. I have one of them here, and I may have to move on a few others. Because, yeah. But anyhow, this is a setup hat. This is the Crowned Royal Collection. that Lids did, which is one of my favorite collections of the year so far. I only have 3 hats of it, but I love it. There's like every one of them is a winner. And we got the Rockies, which works because it's purple and black. You got the gold in there too, but Rockies, they have an abundance of Rockies hats. Like every Lids, you see this, right? With the inaugural season patch. So I recently got a deal done for 2 Rockies jerseys, which both have the inaugural season patch. And like as soon as I got the deal done, I'm like, well, now I need to go get that Crowned Royal Rockies hat because it has the inaugural on the side, you know, combo wombo. So there it is. So once I get those jerseys, this hat will be prominently worn with those jerseys, right, for the logo on the side. And this one is the City Edition. So this is the New Era City Edition, and I got this before they just started popping up everywhere. I got this on newera.com once they got released a bit back. So here's the Wolves, you know, there it is. Wolves with the gray under, very nice. You got the logo. Now this is the jersey hook. So you got the Wolves City Edition jersey with that on the front, which I still would like to get. This is why they got the hat. And even if I don't get it, this hat will still go with various Kevin Garnett, you know, Marbury, you know, whatever jerseys of that era. So, but the logo is a little different. But, and you got the 75 on the side. But still, nice Wolves hat right there, fitted. City Edition, and it keeps making me want to grab that Wolves City Edition jersey because I do like the jersey, and I don't know when I'm going to grab it because a few other things have kind of come in that I want to get a little more. So eventually, and I got the hat, and even if I don't get the jersey, I like the hat anyhow. So here is, let me start with this one. The last 2 hats are the Negro League hats that like I said. Lids did a great job with them. They made hats and some like almost batting practice looking, like Mitchell and Ness batting practice looking jerseys. Great set. The whole Negro League collection is amazing. There's so many good ones in it, and it's just one of those. Well, I'd like to get this, but my wallet's saying, just stick to this one now, and hopefully the others hang around. So, love it, but I did find this. I know in the last episode I said I wanted the Philadelphia Stars hat from the Negro League collection. That they just didn't have it in my size. So I actually ended up going to Cherry Hill Mall, and they had it there at the lid. So here it is. Philadelphia Stars with that patch on the side. Philly Stars on the back. Good gray under. And the black gut. That's what I like, man. So the white one's a little harder to keep clean. And there you got the big logo on the front. Red squatchy two-tone, which is very cool. All these hats and jerseys from this set is just awesome. I know they did, like I said, they did a Globetrotters set. I think they did a Hispanic set too. I've seen like a couple people in the hat groups having a few of those hats. I'm like, yeah, man, I haven't seen them yet. So I don't know, maybe they were real limited and maybe they'll pop up a little more as we go on. But you know, the Black Fives they did such a great job with those sets. Beautiful job by Lids. And tip to the cat let me do it. All right, tip to the cap to Lids for an amazing set. There's so many great hats in this set. So many nice batting practice style, you know, jerseys, and I want to get a few of them in time. This one I got online because they didn't have any of these in my area. So the Indianapolis Clowns. That's what this is, right? So you got the two-tone again. Very nice. You got the C for clowns right there. You look at this logo, though. This is what made it. Ooh, look at the detail on that. Oh, that's such a good logo right there, right? Indy Clowns on the back. New Era fitted. And they made, like I said, they made the Hank Aaron batting practice. They made 2 of them. And the one that I want to get first is that button-up. Kind of, like I said, it looks like the Expos Mitchell and Ness batting practice. Only, you know, has clowns across the front, and it's got this logo on the sleeve. And it's got 5 on the back, and that's Hank's number from when he was with Indianapolis. I don't believe he was there very long, because he did not have a very long, I believe, Negro League career before he was basically purchased. His contract was purchased by the Milwaukee Braves at the time. And believe it or not, and this is kind of a cool little factoid here, right? So there were 2 teams, if I read this correct, that offered him to take his to purchase the contract, right? So you had the New York Giants and you had the Milwaukee Braves. So the Giants made the offer, and that's the time Willie Mays was there. Okay, so the Milwaukee Braves, and if I said Milwaukee Brewers at first, I apologize. Of course, it was the Milwaukee Braves, then became the Atlanta Braves. So Milwaukee made a $50 more contract for $50 more than what the New York Giants offered. That's why he wound up with the Milwaukee Braves instead of with the New York Giants. And if he went to the Giants, him and Willie Mays would have been on the same. Can you imagine those 2 on the same team? My goodness. That would have been a potent lineup that the Giants had, because they already had some other really good players. You just imagine Hammer and Hank with Say Hey Kid on the same team. What stories that would have brought, right? But of course, Hank made his career with the Milwaukee Braves. They became the Atlanta Braves, and then he ended his career back in Milwaukee with the Brewers, right, years ago. And I have those Brewer jerseys. I have some of his Braves jerseys too. And now I want to get his Indianapolis Clowns jerseys. And I know Ebbetsfield Flannels has them too. Very nice jerseys. There's something about that logo. I love that logo. I love the clown logo, and they have it on the batting practice jersey. So yeah, I think that's going to be my next Hank, jersey. There's another one I want, but this one might come first. We'll see. How many Hank Aaron jerseys do you need? I can hear Snacks, right? Shout out to him, right? But a great job by Lids. There's still some more hats that I want to grab, and like I said, some jerseys from the Negro League collection that they put out. Beautiful collection. And again, shout out to Lids for that. So now we go to the jerseys, and speaking of Snacks, because how many Rams jerseys do you need? So here's another one in the collection. James Harris, of course. The 1974 Los Angeles Rams. James Harris jersey right there. So I've had the white one for a number of years. And I wanted, like I said before, in the vehicle vlog, right? That I wanted to get the blue version for some time, and Snacks had it for sale. Grabbed it. There it is. And I knew it was 100% legit because it was coming from Snacks. So there you go. Double stitching on that 12. On the front, you got the horns, just the iconic horns going around the sleeves. Single stitching for the 12. You got the horns, which is a different material than the mesh. More of a fabric-y kind of material right there. You got the V-neck. You got the mesh. So you got the holes right in there, you can see. Old Gold Mitchell & Ness. This is a... made in El Salvador jersey. You already saw the jock. Turn it around. Harris single stitched on the nameplate, double stitching again for that 12. You will see fakes of this out there. Sometimes the fakes are as bold to put the NFL shield on the front, even though teams didn't wear that for some time later. But that's one kind of telltale sometimes, and sometimes it sometimes can be tricky. Some of them look pretty decent, but then others are just like, no. But this is 100% real deal Mitchell & Ness older run, El Salvador run. So thank you again to Snacks for that. And then this is the one, like I said, man, I had visions of Rick Barry All-Star. I didn't want this one to get away. I had this on my watch list for months. Man, I'm glad I didn't miss out, because this is one that I've wanted, and it is getting a little more scarce to find, so I'm glad I was able to get it. So we got that Tom Seaver, Tom Terrific, pullover Mets, 1983, right? So this is like his return to the Mets from after those years in Cincinnati. Seaver 41 On the back, Seavers on a nameplate, double stitched. The 41 as well, double stitched onto the back. You got the Mets and the 41 double stitched onto the front. You got the V-neck collar. This is a Korea-made jersey. There's a small little Korea tag on the inside. You can see that, right? Then we got the big cuffs on the sleeves as well on both sides, of course. Yes, even as I said in that video, even as a Phillies fan, the Met jerseys, I won't wear them. The Phillies are playing the Mets, but I do have a few. Just a few, because how many Met jerseys do you need? Right? So I have quite a few of them, but I've always liked the colors, and the jerseys just always pop to me. Even as a Phillies fan, I have to admit to that. I will not wear these during the when the Phillies and Mets play each other. I've had many a fun time at Phillies-Mets games. Met fans, there's just something, and I know the Phillies have won more recently than the Mets. I mean, I remind Met fans it has been since 1986. But but it's almost like we share kind of in a way a common, like, these teams are always going to let us down type thing, right? But it's always fun, particularly when both teams are good, which isn't very often at the same time. But then you get that good rivalry going, and it's fun. It's a fun thing. I've had many a fun time, chatting it up with Met fans at games, and it's just one of those things. I know it's not the case for every Phillies fan. But anyhow, we move on. This is the one, like I said, last in my vehicle vlog, right? That I know Rez was very happy, and Bay Area Throwbacks were very happy when I was able to acquire one of these, because it took a while. And make longer than I thought it would. And listen, as collectors, you don't know why, for certain things, why things work in certain ways. Why did it take me so long to get a Sharks jersey? I have no idea, because I've always liked the jersey. The colors, the logo, everything about the jersey I've always liked. I just never had one. I missed opportunities here and there, and it was just one of those things. So here it is. I know you guys have already seen this, because I did the pickup vid for Kings of Throwbacks on the Facebook group. But here it is. First time seeing it on YouTube. Here is the San Jose Sharks, and the Sharks are now represented jersey-wise. I had a hat for years. I just didn't have. There it is. This was a Macari pickup. Like I said, I missed on this. I don't know if it's the same exact jersey or someone else had another one. I have no idea. But it was a second chance for me, and I wasn't going to pass it up, because I love the look of this thing. The teal. Amazing. I always knew. Now, like I said before, I thought my first ever Sharks jersey would be their first look, right? With the old logo, the old original logo, and But I always knew it had to be a teal one. No matter what, the first Sharks jersey in the collection had to be teal. Right? So I got the teal one. And you got the tagging right there. It's a Reebok. You got the shield on the inside. You got the drawstring. Captain, of course, it was at the time Joe Pavelski. Who's now with the Dallas Stars, but still. And this is what made it. That 25. Oh, come on. The Sharks have always done a nice job with their anniversary patches. Always. Every one of them has looked good, in my opinion. And then you got that big logo on the front. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Right, and I do believe this is a replica. This isn't an authentic, jersey. This is more of the authentic, the replica line. But then you got the 8. You got Reebok, of course, on the back. Pavelski 8 on the back. Really nicely stitched. So I almost want to say that it might be like authentic numbers or something put on to a replica jersey. Maybe this was, done in that way. Maybe not. I don't know. But I know it's a replica because the side patches are not, this is how the side patches were, or the shoulder patches were. So the replica one, I think they would be more stitched on than this one. And you can tell with the stitching, but still very nice. High quality. Reebok tagging on the back. Like I said, man, it's striking. I love the teal. and I love that patch. You know, the player, I mean, it could have been whoever the player, you know, whether he was still on the Sharks or not. I just wanted that patch. I saw that patch, I went nuts. And also because I didn't get it originally, and it sold before I could move on it. So I knew I had a second chance, and it was almost like a sign, like, you know, come on, MightyFan, this is the time right now. Now, if only that Billy White Shoes Oilers, if only I can get a second chance at that one. Right? There's a few other jerseys out there that I would love to have a second chance at that I didn't get, but that's part of the life of the collector, right? It's like I always say. It's all about the ones you get and then the ones you don't get as well. You know, and there's a story behind each and every one of them. All right, let's take this show downstairs. All right, we're going to take this show downstairs. So, yeah. So as far as what's going on now, and yeah, there is. There's always things in the works, right, for me. There are, as I said, I have some Rocky jerseys that I'm working on with a fellow collector to acquire. He has another jersey that I want to acquire. That's going to cost a pretty penny. But I want it, and I will do whatever I can to make sure it happens. So there's that. I'm not saying what it is. You're just going to have to wait. There's another jersey that popped up on eBay earlier tonight that's been on my hit list. Not Billy White Shoes. Not Rick Barry All-Star, but another one that's been on my to-get list, want list, hit list, you know, whatever you want to call it list. Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things, man. It's like I didn't think that I would be going after a lot of jerseys, at least for the next, you know, the next month or so, because, you know, things happen, and, you know, dealing with different stuff, and, you know, family stuff been going on, and just not, excuse me, I plug this in. You know, life will throw a lot at you. I know I'm speaking to the choir with that, right? But give me a second here as I put the tripod on. By the way, there it is. Speaking of tripods, right? So the movie from years ago, right? The Girl Next Door. All right. So in that movie, one of the characters, there was like these three buddies, right, in high school. One of the guys was named Quince, a taller, lanky guy with glasses, right? And I say tripod because in the movie they say they're the three legs of the tripod, right? You take one away and the tripod gets knocked over, basically, right? So one of the three legs of the tripod was named Quince, and I'm pretty sure it's the same actor because the face looked exactly like this actor. And I didn't get the actor's name. I didn't like deep dive and look at, you know, is this really who it is or not? He looked just like them, like an older version of him, right, from that movie. So I saw the Batman. I am vengeance. It's something about it. I like that, right? I saw the Batman on Friday night, and not that, listen, you know, you can take my movie reviews for what they are. Obviously, I don't make movie reviews. I don't do movie reviews. I like a lot of movies. I watch a lot of movies, but I'm never going to be Mr. Movie Review Guy, right? You have so many different channels here on YouTube for people that do wonderful job with their movie reviews. Very opinionated, very, very clever and cool. And you can find them all over the place right here on YouTube. So I like the movie. I can understand it might not be for everybody. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun watch. It was long. But it didn't feel long, right? Like I watched the movie, and I've been meaning to watch it. I watched it the other night. Tenet. I don't know, man. Maybe there's just something about Pattinson making long movies. I have no idea. The Twilight movies, Tenet, the Batman. He likes making these long movies. Or starring rather, I should say, in these long movies. Like I like making these long YouTube videos, right? But they don't go 3 hours. You have to give me that, okay? But So I'm watching this movie, Tenet, and I'm just going, why? Why am I watching this? it just, I just, I wanted the bad person to die so badly just for it to end. It was one of those movies that I'm watching it and I'm going, can you just, no? Oh, now we're going to go somewhere. Okay, now we're doing something else. All right. And it was one of those, I didn't want to turn it off because I'm like, I made it this far. That's the way I am with movies, even the bad ones. If I feel like it's a war of attrition, like I made it this far, I don't want to just turn it off. I have to know. How does this? Oh, that was horrible. But at least I made it through. Okay, it's like a Medal of Honor. There you get it, right. I'm watching this Tenet movie, and maybe people like it. Listen, if you like it, I mean, more power to you. I just couldn't. I was on my phone for part of it. I'm like, you know what, this is. And it just kept going, and going, and going, and then even the last scenes were like, God, just end it already. And then finally it did, and it was kind of a dopey ending too. I'm like, damn it. I had some hope for no, huh? God, if they ever make a sequel to that movie. But no, so the Batman, right? So long story, long way getting to the point, right? So the Batman, so the Riddler, the actor who plays the Riddler, I believe, is Quince from The Girl Next Door. The face just looked exactly like. I didn't look at the names, so I didn't say, oh yeah, that was him. I'm guessing it's the same actor. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know. I don't even know why I said that right now. I go off on these tangents, right? But do not watch Tenet. If you haven't already, it's not, no. If you learned anything from this video, stay away from Tenet. But the Batman I enjoyed. That, I like it. And I know, listen, some of these superheroes is like they keep reinventing. They have to do something. They bring it back. New actor, new whatever. Now here it comes again. It's like, you know the story. You know, right? Batman. I'm sorry, spoiler alert. His parents die when he's a kid. And then he becomes the vigilante, right? We know this. So let's just get past it. And I'm glad that this didn't. It's part of it, but it didn't lead with it. It was nice that, okay, it's like Spider-Man. How many times do we need to see Peter Parker get bit by the damn spider? We know this is what happens, right? So I'm glad in the more recent ones he's already Spider-Man, all that other, it's done. We know what happened, right? He didn't get bit by a tiger. He got bit by a spider. Everybody knows. This is why he's called Spider-Man, right? So Batman 2, I'm glad. Because it's like, I just don't want this to open with the parents. Just don't, please. No, we've seen that. We know. We know. Thank you. I am vengeance. Good. Be vengeance. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It didn't feel like about 3-hour movie. Tenet felt like a 5-hour movie. That was a... that you felt it. Like, I felt it watching that thing. I didn't really feel it watching the Batman. All right, I enjoyed it, and I do like Batman. Batman has been a character that I've enjoyed for many years. Various, going back to the Michael Keaton Batman. I've always liked that story in him, and the fact he doesn't really have superpowers. He just kind of does things with his brain, and he has all these gadgets, and the Batmobile's always been. Sometimes it kind of gets, they kind of. But I like this one. I like the one in this movie. I can actually see them using something similar to that in the Fast and Furious movie. That's going to happen at some point. Yes, I do like that. I know that the movies using a Pontiac Fiero with a big rocket. I knew they were going to go to space at some point. I knew it was going to happen. And they did. It wasn't exactly the vehicle I thought they would be up in space with. But I knew. Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna happen. Now, see, if they show up in a Batman movie, that would be. If they showed up in Tenet, that may have made it better for me. Right? Just get Dom and the team. Get them in there, and they have cars. I wonder what would happen if you took the cars away. I do feel that when they come up with these Fast and Furious movies, they have got to have like kids sitting around playing with cars. So and they're like, ooh, that could be a good idea. Let's put that in the movie. I'm waiting for the big loop. We need the loop-de-loop thing. From the Hot Wheels track, we need something like that to show up in the Fast and Furious movie. Just have this big contraption. You just have to go around and over. They've done everything else. It's the only thing they haven't done. Just do it. Everything's like like you're playing with cars. Like this is what I did when I was younger. Oh, sure, just swinging across. Do all this stuff. It wasn't a Fiero, though. It wasn't. But, you could do different things now. And then they do it in the movies. And every street never has enough traffic on it. Never. They could be in Los Angeles at, like, rush hour. And there'd be, like, 20 other cars on the road. Right? There's never traffic. Middle of the day. Holidays, weekends, never any other. It's just them and the bad guy, who then becomes good, because that's how it always goes. But God love that series. Let me tell you what. I will watch every single one of the Fast and Furious movies 50 times before I watch Tenet again. It's not going to happen. I see Tenet on there. It makes me angry. I see Tenet on HBO. I say, I keep going, no, we don't need that again. But Fast 5? Oh, I'm on there. Okay, here we are. I actually fell asleep to it last night, which is just kind of laid back, and then I fell asleep at 8, and I woke up at like 5 a.m. That sucked. Down here, I was on the couch. Ride or die. I just went down. As soon as Dom started, I just... But I do. I do enjoy that series. But speaking of that series, there was a pack that came. There was a set that came out this past Saturday that I did not go after because the weather here sucked yesterday. But they did a Fast and Furious, pack. They did the hats and like the different car colors. Some of them looked pretty good. The one I think I would have gotten was the Phillies one, which was like based off of Han's, his car in Tokyo Drift. Was it the Mazda or whatever it was? Right. So that was pretty cool. And, they did some others. I didn't go. Obviously, the weather sucked. And they still have, like, full run of those hats. So, obviously, not a lot of people went for it. And maybe they were hit or miss. I don't know. Maybe we're like, enough of the Fast and Furious. We can't take it anymore. No, now you're going to do hats. Now, if one of them wore one of those hats in the next movie... But no, so I did not go after. But the one I would have was the Phillies. That would have been the one. But obviously, didn't happen. So will I ever get it? I don't know. I'm not like chomping at the bit. It's an orange and black hat. I have an orange and black Phillies hat already. That Hat Club made a bit ago. This is different because it has the old my favorite Phillies logo on the front. Right, the Independence Hall logo from the '80s. So in early '90s. So, if I ever had a chance at that, I would definitely go for it. But, the weather was horrible here yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna go Fast and Furious on the road to pick up these. I almost, what, maybe by watching the movies as much, I kind of learned a few things because this was Saturday, I guess early Saturday morning. By the time I got home from the movie, I saw a 8:30 show, and I think I got home a little after midnight. But So coming home, I'm driving, and I'm so glad I wasn't doing a vlog. Oh, forget it. That night, someone may have gotten hit. Because it's like, it's freaking midnight. And there's a semi-busy road near me. I'm coming back. It's dark. And there's these, like, probably drunks walking across the road. I saw them at the last second. They're all yelling at me. I'm like, yeah, have another one, buddy. I swerved to get away from them. I don't even know where the other person was. The swerve I did was Dom may have been proud of it because I just went, and just kept going. And they're all like yelling. I'm like, what the hell what are you doing walking across the damn road? It's dark. Right? And I'm like, oh my goodness. I have no idea how I made that maneuver. But, adrenaline just took, and I just found a way around the person and kept going. I'm like, you gotta be, and they're all yelling at me. I had the windows up because, it's cold. They're all yelling at me. I'm like, yeah. I have another one. Right? So only a drunk would have been doing that at that time of night. I mean, come on, man. So anyhow, that was my adventurous evening on Friday into Saturday morning. It was you know what I would have done, actually? I probably wouldn't have. But if I was, like, thinking, like, a little, it's always, like, the things you think of afterwards, right? I would have stopped my vehicle, got the window down, and yelled at them, "I am vengeance!" and kept driving. How great would that have been? That would have been just one of the coolest moves I could have made. You imagine them yelling, and all of a sudden, "I am vengeance." It's the Batman. You imagine me doing that? That would have been. If I have a shot, if I'm doing a vlog, a video, and someone yells at me, I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm rolling that. I'm putting the window down. I am vengeance. Then I gotta drive real quick. Then I really gotta be fast and furious after that, because I'm not. Oh my goodness, that would have been awesome. Oh, I should have thought of that. Damn it. See, you just think of things always too late. Anyhow, how was your day? So anyhow, but no. Yes, we've completely gone off the rails. This is like the Fiero in space with the rocket on it. This is basically my version of that. So anyhow, the Jersey wise, let me tell you, man, it's always, and maybe, it just feels like that, but it's always when you're in a situation that, I really don't want to spend right now. I don't want, and then people got to start selling their collections. Then nice jerseys got to be showing up on eBay. So anyhow, there is a jersey that ends later in the week, and I'm hoping to get on eBay, and I will be using the pay it in full if I'm able to get it. It is a jersey that's been on my list for a while. I'm not saying what it is for you vultures out there. If someone takes it from me, I am vengeance. Remember that. I'm going to use that. I got to use that more. I really. So, I know I'm all vengeance, and then I start coughing. There goes the vengeance. You don't want me as Batman. I'm telling. It would just be like with a bag. There'd be like a few steps. For me, I'm like, no, I'm not vengeance. I'm leaving. But anyhow, no, it's like I've always said. You really have to try your best to balance it all, and it's so damn tough because the sport. I mean. This guy was selling a good amount of his baseball and that baseball. Listen, Raise both hands. It could be hockey. It could be basketball. It could be football. As great as those jerseys are, and God knows I have enough of them. I have a whole room devoted to the NBA, the basketball jerseys. I have some collegiate ones in there too. Whole room devoted to it in the house. Baseball is just another level for me. Yeah, it's like I've said, baseball is the sport that I enjoy collecting the jerseys of the most, and really the eras from the 1970s on to today. You know, again, the wool flannels, they're beautiful jerseys. I do own a few. There's others out there I will get. Yes, I know, Snacks. I see you. I will be getting at some point, although I did get a Sharks jersey first. But I will get the Ebbets Field flannels. I will get into getting a few of those because I do want a Philadelphia Stars, and there might be a few others. I want to get some of those football ones too, but as far as the wool flannel baseball, there's some on there that I would love to have. It just, yes, I'm probably going to slow roll them, but there will be a time when I add, because they are beautiful. And I still remember when I met Snacks years ago at his place with Slim, him showing me that Monarchs jersey, and then it's just beautiful, just a patch on there, just how it was, very, very well made, and I know the quality because I saw it in person firsthand. But at some point I will have one of those, and there's some other wool flannels that Mitchell & Ness has made over the years. I want an Ernie Banks someday. There's some other Phillies ones I'm sure out there that I want. There's actually one out there I do want to get. I think it's a Jimmy Fox. It's got the Blue Jay on the sleeve. It was a 1-year deal for the Phillies. They didn't call themselves the Blue Jays, but they had the Blue Jay because they were thinking about changing the name, if I remember the story correct, to the Blue Jays, and they just put the Blue Jay on the sleeve. So before Toronto adopted the Blue Jays, the Phillies, I believe it was a 1940 whatever, I forget the year, but it has the Blue Jay on the sleeve, and it still says Phillies across the front. So they didn't change the name, but they were considering it, I believe. And it just had a number 4, I believe, for Jimmy Fox on the back. Beautiful. I've seen it many years ago at the old store on Chestnut Street, the old flagship Mitchell & Ness store. Would love to have that. That would be a nice piece in my not just collection, but Phillies collection, right? So that one someday will happen. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know this about me, my wheelhouse for baseball jerseys is the 70s to current day. Those are the ones that just always just speak to me. I love the polyknit jerseys, the pullovers from that time, just all the different colors and the logos and the funky fonts and the whatever on them, the numbers. They just have always spoken to me, and so those are the ones I go after the most, and. Yeah, I mean, any of those various different eras, and if people start selling their collections, and they're in that realm, I get the shakes. I start twitching a little bit, like, ooh, look at that. And I really didn't want to make any moves, and then I'm looking at those Rocky jerseys and I'm saying, I can't. I gotta get that. The Rockies is not a team. I have like one Rocky jersey, right? The Galarraga 94 Rogue, beautiful jersey that I got from another collector years ago. And I saw those two with the inaugural on there. I said, oh, that has to happen because it's Larry Walker and Dante Bichette. I've always wanted Walker and Bichette, because those were like the first Rockies that I remember, and obviously they were there for the inaugural. And then, of course, Galarraga and Todd Helton. Todd Helton I still want to get. Todd Helton's one of those players I'd like to get his Rocky jersey at some point, because to me, he's like Mr. Rocky, so Mr. Colorado Rockies. So I would like to get his jersey at some point. But those two players I've wanted. They had the inaugural on there. Beautiful. I'm like, oh, I can't let these things get away. And it's good I did because, we got the deal done. And then someone else said, oh, I wish you still had that Bichette. I'm like, see? Fast and furious. You have to be fast before you can be furious. Right? Vengeance! Better be careful. He might want to be vengeance on me, right? But those were jerseys. I just and there were others that he had, and I'm like, but I can't move on too many. But I want those Rockies. Snacks, you'll be happy to know I passed on some Oriole jerseys. Because how many Oriole jerseys do you need? So, but then I saw that Slim alerted me to another jersey that came up on eBay, and I'm like, and it's a beauty, and I can't let it get away. I can't. Not saying what it is. No, it's a pricey piece, but I have to have it. I just I shouldn't, but I have to. And then, of course, this other thing pops up on eBay today. I'm like, no. At first, I didn't think it was legit. And I legit checked Slim for it. And he said it was good. And I'm like, oh. I was kind of... Because there were aspects to the jersey that looked good. And there was ones that didn't quite look good. So I'm like, I don't know. It looks good. Everything else kind of checks the boxes. But I'm not too sure. Legit checked Slim. Slim said, you're good. That's what I mean. It's a landslide, and sometimes it just all comes up at once, and it's like, well, I could have done without this one at this time. No, it just happens, man. It happens, and it's not always the easiest thing to turn away from. And I've said over time that there's jerseys that I deem the fuck it jerseys. That even if I'm, I shouldn't, the situation might not be the greatest, but if it pops up, I gotta move on it. And I would definitely deem the white shoes one of those. And I won't get too chesty here because obviously I didn't get the first time. But I'm telling you, it might pop up and it might be a number that is like, well, there's no way any dope's gonna go after this and this person. I might be that dope. I might throw down on that one. That's one of those, and I shouldn't say it too loud because someone's gonna have it, and they're gonna throw it on eBay for like a big number, and it's like, oh well, MightyFan said he would. Yeah. You want to play with me, do you? Yeah. I'm vengeance. So anyhow, I don't know, man. That's one of those. If it pops up, yeah. That's a fucking jersey for me. The Rick Barry All-Stars one. And I know it's so funny because I let that thing sit there for months. Months. I let it sit and I didn't move on it. And it's gone. Like I said, it just... But the next time it pops up, that's a fucking jersey for me. It's bought. It's done. Particularly with this paying for thing. See, the Slim knew this would be trouble for me. He told me. He said, this is going to be trouble. I said, no, I can, trouble. Yeah. A few months later, yeah. I can see what you mean now, Slim. But yeah, that one pops up, done. I'm not letting it sit next time. I'm not, and if you're one looking for it too, you better hope you see it before me. That's all I'm going to say. Is that once I see that thing and it's in my size, and maybe even bigger, because we know I don't mind wearing big. And Slim reminds me every time I talk to him, the waistline keeps getting bigger. So, but needless to say that, yeah, that one, that next time that pops up, no, it's coming, right? There's some others out there, and one of these jerseys that popped up tonight, I wouldn't say exactly it's on that type of list, but it's been on my hit list. It's been on my hit list for, I've missed out on a few times, and a lot of times I just never really truly went after it, and then sometimes I did, I just couldn't outbid the high bidder. It's one of those that, yeah, it's made appearances and never came home to me. So, yeah, that's one that's on my list, right, of ones I would like to get. So, Yeah, I'm hoping that that this week that ends the search for that one. And like I said, there's another one sitting there. A lot of money, but it's one that it's a baseball, and it's a style. It's everything about it just this speaks to me, and gotta have it. And it's a pretty penny. I'm not gonna lie about it. It's probably gonna be one of the most I've spent. I'm not saying what I'm spending, but it's probably gonna be one of those that yeah I'm gonna remember that one. But it's one of those that I feel I did a lot of thinking too, because Slim and I were talking about it, and I'm kind of going, I don't know if I really should do this or not. I'm already in the hole for this and this, and but then it's like as a collector, you have these moments of weakness that and particularly if it's a sport that you enjoy collecting the most. And it's just like, you know what? The price is what it is. But how many chances am I going to have at this thing? And Slim telling you, how yeah, you let this get away. I'm like, I know. And he reminded me about Rick Barry. And he reminded me about the Ricky Henderson Padres. That when he was visiting here, I let get away. And then I got it, thankfully, some time later. Very lucky with that one. But this one probably won't be as lucky with. So, yeah, it's going to happen. Trying to get some funds together. Make sure I can do this. So, yeah, but baseball will always be my biggest weakness for collecting. Jersey-wise. It will always be. Because there's so much out there. And for what I look for, they just always hit. They got patches, they got this, everything about that I love about jerseys, they have in baseball. And I'm not saying they don't have it because they do. Hockey, I've been over this. We know hockey is probably the most decorated jerseys, right? As far as the pro, right, the NHL, there's always something going on. Patches, the logos, the everything, and they are so nice, but they're a higher price point. Not to say baseball isn't the current baseball stuff. And I will say this: there are current Nike jerseys that are more expensive retail than what I'm going to pay on this other jersey, which is amazing. This other jersey, right? There are current Nike jerseys that are more expensive than it, and that's a shame. They're over $400. These Nike jerseys. It's like, what are we doing? It's like I said before, and I forget if I said this here. I think I said at the snacks. The Milwaukee Brewers, if you look on Fanatics or MLB.com shop or whatever, it's all the same, right, Lids? There are authentic Milwaukee Brewer jerseys just because there's more words or letters, I should say. In one of the, it's more. If you see the Brewer jerseys, the current Brewer jerseys, if it says Brewers on the front, it's under 400. If it says Milwaukee on the front, it's over 400. It's like, what are we doing? For an extra few letters, it's over 400. First of all, these jerseys should not be over $400. There is no way in hell these jerseys should be that expensive. It's like, what are we doing? Why are we trying to put things out there to just... why are we putting price points that are almost impossible to get? Even on sale, these things are ridiculously expensive, right? Now, I'm one of those suckers because I love these jerseys, and there are today's players that I would like to get, and then you have jerseys with the patches, and So listen, but they're discount codes. You can get a deal. It might not be the greatest deal, but you can get a deal on them, and now what they're paying for, there's another way to do it to lessen the blow. But still, why are these damn jerseys over $400? It makes no sense to me, right? Now, I only have one Nike authentic jersey to date, right? I got that Mookie Betts Dodger jersey with the Champs patch, right? Because I want to get, whoever wins, I want to get that jersey next year with the Champs patch, so it will be a Braves jersey. this time, and I'm probably going to have to pay a pretty penny, but it's part of my collections within the collections, what I want to do, right? Like I said, I love baseball jerseys. I want to, find other collections within the collections for them, right? So that's one of them, the Champions collection is what I'm going to call it. That's the only one I have to date, the Nike Authentic. But there's others out there I want to get. I want to get one of those birds just because I like the jersey. Fernando Tatis Jr., I want one of his jerseys. I want goodness, I know the Astros are celebrating an anniversary. And the one I was looking at, I think I said this before, was the Altuve Authentic with the navy blue with the gradient color going down the sides, because I don't have one of those. I have all the other Authentics that they have besides that one. And so, it has a nice patch. It's something I would like to get. I didn't to this point, but maybe that happens. I think the Rangers are doing an anniversary this year, if I'm not mistaken. I think I saw the patch. The patch looks like, that looks good. And those Ranger jerseys, particularly the powder blue one, is a really nice jersey, but it's expensive as hell. But that's one I can see myself getting, because it's going to have that patch. And I already like the powder blue jersey they have. So if they put them out there, and if they do indeed have the patch on the jersey and they sell it on Fanatics, at some point that's probably going to come my way because I love extras. I love those patches. But me saying this, I'm still not a fan of those price points, and I'm not going to get one all the time. I'm going to get it here or there where I can, even with the paying for, it's like, well, what the hell why are these why are they so expensive? It's like they got the price point right for the NBA. The Authentic NBA, I know it's less material, but the Authentic prices for their NBA jerseys, I know they've gone up a little bit, but they're still solid. It's still a good price. But for baseball, it's Nike. They just completely went out the door with those. I mean, my God. So, any rate, but there are ones out there, and like I said, I'm one of those. I love baseball jerseys, and they put the patches on there. They're doing this and that, but I do not like those price points. I just don't. And I wish they were cheaper. I don't know if that day's going to come, but, I'm one of those suckers, man. I'm going to buy them. Not, like I said, not routinely, but here and there I probably will pick one off, But baseball, like I said, I'm a glutton for it, man. I love those jerseys, and people start selling their collections with baseball. I do, man. I get to seeing some of them. I go, oh, it happens. And so, yeah, recently, over this weekend, they were being sold, and I was twitching. I was like, ooh, look at this, look at that one, look at that one. I didn't move on the Oriole jersey, those snacks. You'd be happy to know. I thought about it, but I didn't. Anyhow, I've almost gone on for an hour here, as usual. So I think this is a good time to cease and desist because, vengeance. But but no, thank you for joining in as always. We covered a few topics tonight. We talked about movies. We talked about vengeance. We talked about jerseys and hats. Showed some jerseys and hats, right? Thank you as always for all the support. Please keep hitting that thumbs up, right? Because otherwise vengeance will get you, and you don't want that. You don't want to be caught in an alley. It's always, it's always dark and rainy. It's almost like they're in Seattle. I don't even think it rains that much in Seattle as it does in Gotham. It's always raining. I know it's supposed to be for the whole motif, but what it rains you would think always raining. Always raining. But no, keep hitting the thumbs up. Comment below if you'd like, and also hit that subscribe button if you already haven't done it, and hit the bell icon so you get alerted to content from yours truly. You never want to miss it, because like you saw in this video, you never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. It's beyond Thunderdome, okay? So anything can happen, right? We go off the rails all the time, but that's what it is. So anyhow, I'm going to cut in just under an hour. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.